I am so happy that you're able to join us for this extended interview. Make sure to visit theoffbeatlife.com. Again, that's theoffbeatlife.com to get more killer resources. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this extended interview with Lena and Bassam, where they're going to share how to set up a business as a creative entrepreneur. Hey guys, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Hi, Debbie. Thanks for having us.
So, before you give us all of your incredible tips and tricks, can you tell us a little bit more about you both and why you live an offbeat life?
Yeah, so we both have full-time jobs that we really love. Bassam has his own accounting and bookkeeping firm, and I'm a behavior analyst who works with kids and adults with autism. We also run a blog together and travel together as much as possible. So we like to prove that you can have, two separate dreams, work two full jobs, and still travel.
And also make sure you check out their initial interview with us where they talk a lot about being a couple and communication. So that was a really fun interview. Now, Bassam, you have a lot of different tips for us because in this industry, there's a lot of people who want to start their own business or LLCs. What does it require to actually start a business?
I specialize in online entrepreneurs, and a lot of questions that we get is how do I start a business? And I feel like the subject is such a scary subject to a lot of people because it's hard to figure out where to start. So what we recommend is finding an attorney or finding an accountant that you work with, and you can check with them based on your city or state about the laws and the forms that you need to fill out. What we recommend is a limited liability company, which is an LLC, also that is elected as an S corp. So the limited liability company will give you a lot of benefits when it comes to limiting any liability you have during the process of your business. For example, if you got sued, it limits it to only the business assets, and it's more flexible than having a corporation. And then when you do an election as an S corp, this is how you would file your taxes with the IRS, and which gives you a lot of tax savings. So the combination of an LLC that is elected as an S corp is the way to go.
And when Bassam wanted me to set up the blog like that, I was like, I don't have any assets. And he's like, yes, you do. Your car, anything that you have in your bank account. Like, we kind of forget that we have things, like you have assets.
So these are considered personal assets that, so let's say if you don't have a limited liability company and you have a sole proprietor, and let's say you get sued, then your personal assets would become liable.
How long does it actually take for you to apply to have an LLC or a corporation in the business? Does it take a long time to get that up and running? Or, I mean, can you do it by yourself, or do you need an accountant or a lawyer to do it for you?
So there are four ways of doing this. One through an attorney, second through number two would be through an accountant. Number three would be some websites that help you do it, like LegalZoom, for example. And four would be you could do it on your own. You'll have to contact the Secretary of State in your state and ask for the forms that you'll need to fill out. Mostly they have it on their website. It says, LLC form, fill this out and then send it in, or you can do it online. And this is how you start your entity. After you get your paperwork from the state, you'll have to file what's called a statement of information. And that kind of tells the public who owns the company, kind of business that you conduct, the address. So it makes it public knowledge for everyone that what kind of business you do. After that, you will apply for what's called a tax ID or an EIN number with the IRS. That would be your entity's ID that is needed to open a bank account and transact under. Also, when it comes to electing it as an S corp, there are forms that you as an individual can fill out, and it's on the IRS's website, and send it into the IRS. So everything could be done by yourself. It just takes a little longer to do than having somebody else do it for you.
And for people who may not be motivated to do all this, like I wasn't, a good perk of going this way is that it's better for you with your taxes, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, the accountant can get all that done as well.
Yeah, you can write off more when you're set up in that way.
Yeah. And I'm a huge believer of outsourcing. And honestly, I have an LLC and an S Corp, and exactly what you're talking about, Basam. And I had my accountant do this. You have so much other things to worry about, especially when you're just starting a business, that you don't want to get yourself into a mess later on when tax season comes and you didn't do something correctly. So knowing someone like Basam and having him do it for you and just be feeling so much better because it's taken care of, because there's other things that will, be on your plate, and you will get so overwhelmed by all of the information, that I'm so thankful for you, Basam, for doing things like this for us.
Oh, thank you. I mean, a lot of things that also to take into consideration. For example, if we live in LA, and then the city of LA requires a business license if you are conducting business in the city of LA, so they can make, say, will charge taxes at the end of the year. Some cities don't. Some cities only require a yearly fee. So it's important to contact the city that you live in and see if they require that, because in case if they find out years down the line, then they're going to add interest and penalties to the amount that you would owe, and then it won't be worth it. So there are a lot of little things that is good to check with the city and see what kind of license is needed, and that's what we recommend our clients to do, or we do it for them.
Or have Basam or your accountant do it for you so you don't have to go around. That's why we
Absolutely.
need you. We need you so much. And I know
Yeah.
Lena touched up on this a little bit. Aside from obviously being sued and then not being taken personally for everything you've got, what other things can you get out of this if you actually file for a business and not just doing this on your personal, for your personal taxes when you're filing?
There's a lot more deductions that could be taken if you have a business versus doing it on your own. It could be like there are a lot of business expenses that you can put on the business. And also, you will save on taxes. Like, for example, if you don't have an entity, there is what's called the self employment tax that is high that you have to pay versus having, let's say, an S Corp. Whatever revenue that you've made, that goes directly to your personal, so you don't have to file a business tax return, and whatever you pay yourself could be done as payroll, and you can this way lower the amount of taxes that you will be paying. I know this might sound a little complicated, but there are ways, for example, where you want to take money out of your business, and if you just transfer from your business account to your personal account, that's called distribution, and you pay higher taxes on that versus you actually becoming an employee of your company and paying yourself payroll. That payroll tax is the tax deduction on the business end. So there are a lot of benefits to having a business and to the deductions that you can take on the business. That's why we recommend having that.
As someone who doesn't understand these things, I highly recommend you talk to an accountant because I drive
Yeah.
the Sam crazy. Like, I have a PayPal for the business, but it's under my personal name, and I'll just like take money from it. And he's like, "What are you doing? You can't do that." So I think, like Debbie said, talk to a professional. Yeah, it is a little bit of a cost, but it saves you the headache of doing things wrong. And then that's all deduct. You can claim it, right? If you go through an accountant, whatever you pay your
Well,
accountant.
the accountants will basically on the type of business that you have, they can recommend, okay, these are the kind of expenses we can deduct. This is what we cannot deduct. So they will walk you through everything. And having what I say is like accounting is the heart of every business, because that's how you'll find out if you're making money, if you're losing money, which areas of the business that your margins are great and you need to increase that kind of product sales, or kind of services, where you need to cut from. So it's important to have your books done professionally, and then you can review your financials on a monthly basis, and this way how you can direct your business and to grow it.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, there's so many things that you don't you I mean, a lot of creatives don't look at it like that. We just do what we need to do, and then we make money, and then we don't realize that at the end of the day there's taxes that needs to be paid, and there's so many other things like payroll and fees that you need to do. So having an accountant, having someone like Basam go through your expenses and what you need to work on and what you need to shave off is really crucial to creating a business that will be sustainable for the future.
And I think the nice thing about Bassam working with creative entrepreneurs is he has to work with me. And so he sees like how my creative brain works and how I don't understand anything he's telling me. And so I think that's been a good benefit to you, right?
I'm learning new skills.
You learn how to explain it very simply.
I'm trying.
So, Basam, if there's other creatives out there that wants to ask more questions from you, or they want to use you as their accountant, where can they find you?
Our website is M as in Mary, B as in boy, A as in apple, F as in Frank, A as in apple, S as in Sam. It's mbafas.com, and that stands for MBA Financial and Accounting Solutions. They can reach us through our website, and we have our contact information there. We will get back to them with any questions they have.
They offer a full suite of services. So they do bookkeeping, they do accounting, taxes. What am I missing?
And free consultation.
Yeah,
we can look at any questions that anyone might have, and we recommend how they need to move forward.
People are pretty blown away by their free consultation because they'll do like a full hour with you showing you how to set everything up. And then people are like, okay, we will pay you. And they're like, no, this is the free consult. So definitely call them and take advantage of that.
I'm hiring you.
You should hire me.
She's a good PR person. Come on.
Oh, she is. I need to learn some selling skills from her.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and then what about your blog? Where can they find you if they want to learn more about you both as a couple and your travels?
So our blog is Happily Ever Adventures on both Instagram and our website. So happilyeveradventures.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lena and Bassam, for giving us all of these tips and tricks. This is one of the things that we really need to do, but we don't think about it often enough, and then we get into trouble. So this was really great.
Thanks for having us, Debbie.
Thank you, Debbie.
I hope you enjoyed this extended interview with Lena and Bassam. Make sure to visit theoffbeatlife.com. Again, that's theoffbeatlife.com to get the full interview where they share how to balance life and work as a travel couple. Thanks for joining me on this extended interview. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on iTunes. We can also chat some more on Facebook at The OB Life. I'll talk to you soon.